Julia, very interesting to hear her describe Mark Zuckerberg in that way, in this way of I'm, not swayed by what other people think. And I got to tell you, Facebook at 15, Facebook wouldn't be where it's at if that wasn't, I think, a part of Mark Zuckerberg. I remember years and years ago, he turned down $1 billion offer from Yahoo to buy Facebook, and people thought he was crazy. He lost a lot of folks at the company. He had, the foresight to go and acquire Instagram for $1 billion, WhatsApp for $22 billion, and these are the future of Facebook, but that ability to look forward, there's something that went wrong, because with all that ability to look forward and see what's going to be coming next, there was also this complete blind spot for the bad things that people could do on the platform, which is why we're in a way where we're at with Facebook, with some of these very complicated questions about its role in society.
Yeah, I mean, huge courage in his convictions back then to make those kind of decisions, which back then looked expensive and perhaps stupid. And then you fast forward and see that it was a brilliant decision, despite some of the challenges that they face. What about looking forward today? I mean, it's impossible to look forward 15 years, but what about even just 1, 2, 3 years? What did Randy have to say about that, Laurie? And tackling things like, even as early as, or as late as last week, the fake news challenge and the fake accounts that they've got there, and they simply don't have this under control. Can they get there?
Well, I think this next phase of Facebook's journey will be bursting its own filter bubble to a degree. We'll be getting outside help and having to get outside help to help with all of these challenges that have been created with Mark Zuckerberg's mission, which was to connect the world. Well, Facebook at 15 has connected the world. Over 2 billion people are connected, and there are all these complications that come along with it. And I asked Randy Zuckerberg, what Silicon Valley needs to do better. I think there's a lot of things Silicon Valley needs to do better. And she said, obviously anticipating and having diversity to understand these types of problems coming down the pipeline that we might not be thinking about yet. What will be the problems of the virtual world? Virtual reality is something they're investing heavily in. What are going to be the problems for our children? And I think one thing, I know Randy Zuckerberg, she's started her own media company to actually try to get more women at the table. One thing Silicon Valley, I've said this many, many times, they have a massive issue with diversity, because when you have a diverse group of people, when you don't just have the same people making the same decisions, you're able to anticipate some of these issues or understand them in a different type of depth, I think, than what Silicon Valley has done. And I know Facebook, having spent much time behind the walls, shooting this documentary and just being in and out over the last couple of years, I know this is something they're having to think about, just going back to this idea of bursting their own filter bubble to learn more from society and the people that could help them.
Yeah, perfect tease for your documentary, Laurie, there, and I'll just tease that in just a moment. But for now, thank you, Laurie Siegel there. And as Laurie was pointing out there, she has done a documentary digging into the details of the Facebook relationship, interviews with both Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg as well. Facebook at 15, it's complicated. Perfectly named. It's airing this Sunday, 9 p.m. in New York, right here on CNN. One not to miss. Right, let's move.